sexually harassing students. I am deeply disappointed and frustrated with how the administration has handled sexual harassment in our school. Students should never, ever feel unheard, unseen, unsupported, and unsafe in their school. And I'm sad to know that numerous people have felt this way because our school did nothing to support the students. Moreover, when everyone was aware of what happened regarding sexual harassment, the school demanded silence until yesterday's assembly. And I love Ms. Munden and Ms. Lasheen so much, and they did the best they could to provide us with actual But even after that assembly, students were given no time to ask questions, no time to discuss and to process. Having counselors present the next day to discuss feelings that have never fully been realized doesn't make sense because we had virtually no time to debrief. This assembly was merely the first step, and it should not be the end of the process. I would like nothing more than to see positive change regarding this issue. The administration has not admitted fault, nor has anyone apologized for what happened at our school. Because of this, I do not see any evidence that the school will truly inform its actions and take the initiative to make sure this never happens again. But we as students, we are capable of instigating a great amount of change. I believe that it is crucial for us. I believe that it's crucial for our school sexual harassment policy to be clearly understood by all students and staff, and that there is a consistent and transparent follow-through of any report of sexual harassment. Mandated reporters must always report sexual harassment to the state without hesitation. Additionally, for many reasons, students may not report sexual harassment or harassment of any kind because they simply do not know how to recognize it. This is why it is imperative that the school provide clear, detailed, and accurate education on all forms of harassment. There should also be support from guidance counselors, therapists, and outside resources that specialize in helping victims of sexual harassment and assault. It is essential that our school communicates to victims of harassment that it is not at all their fault and it is no way of the function of their character. While they may feel ashamed, terrified, or just unsure of what to do, they will receive as much support as they need. The school should communicate this to victims. If you wish to be heard, you will be. I want to make it known that as students, we are aware, we are watching, and we are willing to take action if we are not satisfied with what the school administration is doing. We will not hesitate to speak out against injustice, and our words have incredible power. With that power, every single one of us is capable of making monumental change in our school. So be brave and let's do this. Safe in this school, and I didn't feel protected. But you know who I am, and you know who we are, and we are going to make change to ensure that something like this never happens.
This was written by Liv, Lizzie, and Jordan. So, yes. We are demanding that real action be taken against sexual harassment at this school, not just reacting to an incident once it's too late. Actions need to be taken to prevent sexual harassment from ever happening again. It is your responsibility to provide students with a safe learning environment. The focus should be on how the students are feeling at school and about what goes on in the hallways and classrooms, not about how our school looks like from the eyes of outsiders. We are the ones showing up every day, and there is no school and feel unheard and unimportant. It was disappointing and angering to sit through an assembly on the topic of harassment during which several incidents of harassment between a teacher and students went entirely unmentioned. This had not been a situation that has only occurred once, but it went unaddressed for years. And frankly, that is terrifying as a student to us here at Sharon High School. We have been told multiple times that there is an array of people at school who are able to talk to if we have been put into a situation.
I only started
However, if we're
5
being
minutes
honest,
ago, though.
after this has been handled, we wouldn't feel comfortable going to anyone knowing it may go under the table. Not only that, but the topic of harassment was only discussed in a student-to-student scenario, whereas a teacher-to-student scenario was not even touched upon. Students were also not given the chance to share thoughts and ask questions on the subject, which was just another way of keeping students and faculty in the dark during the investigation of this teacher. The timing of this assembly makes it seem as though the administration was trying to cover up what had happened and create a band-aid solution. Many students and faculty have been concerned about this topic for years, and yet nothing was done until very recently in an attempt to address the topic. Sorry, I lost my place. Granted, it is difficult to act on something without anyone coming forward, but once again, this has been said, this has been an issue for years, and the student body's silence isn't to blame. If nobody said anything in the past or people tried and were not heard, why try to make yourself heard now? If our school administrators had heard of such rumors of sexual harassment, they should have acted proactively and gotten ahead of the situation before it reached this point. Along with bad timing, the assembly was overall rushed and the subject was not addressed as seriously as it should have been. And the fact that memes were included to get the message across did not sit well with the student body. When it comes to touchy subjects, our school often strays away from the issue, but having the important conversation about real-life issues is important. We expect to be given an environment where we can have conversations about this topic and how we are all feeling. But clearly, as of late, our voices have been silenced and opinions shut down. It is unfair to silence us. This is how we are being heard. We also expect that those who received complaints about Mr. Langus over the years and simply did nothing about it, out of a fear of a bad reputation to SHS, to face the consequences of their actions. If the well-being of our students is really a priority, the administration should hear us out and take action. My name is Rebecca Rodriguez, and I am a junior. You guys heard plenty of stories and needs and wants that these students want. Right now, we're going to have Dr. Greer come down and speak to us. She's the superintendent of Sharon High School. You can ask questions also when she's done saying what she has to say.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. First of all, for those of you who all do not know me, I have said this many, many times before. The reason why I came to Sharon was because of you, the students. And even this morning, I am overwhelmingly impressed. So the first thing I want to say is don't worry about getting in trouble. You're okay. I also want to say,
and we have internal investigations going on currently right now as I speak in regards to how the process played out. I've heard the rumors, I've also heard some true stories. And we want to affirm that we are moving swiftly. And I know for some of you it's not swiftly enough. But please know that my number one priority is to make sure that this never, ever happens again. And that there's never, ever an incident or alleged incident such as this.
When I met with Ms. Glasheen, the one thing that I had asked is that she give you all an opportunity to process this as best as we could. And I first want to apologize because I did not know and realize that you did not have time to do that. So I will work with Ms. Glasheen and with the counselors and Mr. Palmer to make sure that you have a space to get the processing that you need around this. But I also want to be honest, there are some things that they may not be able to talk about because it is a criminal case. But for those of you who need to process and get your feelings out, and I appreciate it because I've been listening, and some of your stories are very, very compelling. And it makes me sad, because not only am I an educator, a lifelong educator, and a mother, and an educator, I'm a parent, I'm a mother. And the one thing that I never want are my children to go to school and not feel safe and not have people to talk to. Ms. Murphy is sitting in the back, and there's one thing that she's been working on many things since we came to knowledge of what has been happening. She's the assistant superintendent. And one of the things that she's been working on is a process for you all when there's incidents that you're concerned with, whether they're substantiated or not, that you have a place to go and you have a direct line to either me or to her to make a complaint. So it comes directly to the central office. So that's part of the new process that we're putting in place. And then, on top of that, we've already began to schedule trainers to come in, not only to work with students and families, to make you and families more aware and make you comfortable with sharing. But I want to commend those people who came forward that allowed us to be able to move when we moved on this situation. And there's going to be rigorous professional development for all staff. Everyone who is employed with the Sharon Public Schools will not just go through training to say we did it. They're going to go through professional development to know specifically how to respond if ever a student came to them with such a complaint. The one problem that I have sometimes is that I overpromise, but I'm also a person of my word. The one thing that I can guarantee you is that as long as I am the superintendent of the Sharon Public Schools, this will not happen. I have a zero tolerance for any type of disrespect, any type of abuse, or anything that is negative towards children. So, with that, I want to again thank you for allowing me to take your floor. I don't want to take too much more time. I also want to invite any students, if you want to sit with me, if you want to meet with me, I am happy to do so. So you organize yourself really well, and I'm happy to sit with you. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for what you just said. That meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to everyone in this room. And I really commend you for wanting to ensure that something like this will never happen again. But I think what we also want is an apology. None of the administrators in this school has offered an apology to any of us, and I think we're deeply deserving of an apology. So important to move forward to make sure something like this never happens again. We also need to acknowledge what has happened in the past, and the people who are to blame for what happened, they need to take responsibility and apologize.
So, my name is Jasper Olson, class of 2020. And I just want to do a quick survey. Everyone in this room, I want you to raise your hand if you heard about the complaints about Legis before you even got to the school. I want all the teachers and administrators to look at this. It was heard of.
I want everyone, hi, I'm Lizzie, class of 2020. I want whoever this applies to raise your hand if you've ever felt unheard in the school. I want all the administration and teachers to look around at all the hands. Unacceptable. Hi everyone, I'm Spawn, I'm a senior, class of 2019. And I want everyone to raise their hand if they've ever felt harassed or assaulted within the past few years. They've ever been in Sharon High or in the middle school. I know I have. It's sad. That's the problem. It's sad that we have to change the way we go to our classes if we've been in the hallway and we've been touched or harassed or anything. That shouldn't be a thing. We should be able to walk to our classes like we are able to. No one in this room should be in fear of another person touching them. That is your body. That is what you have. That's what you were born with. I know that this is a touchy subject and some people aren't okay talking about that, and guess what? That is perfectly okay. People have every right, and I understand it. But at this point, I think that as a community, we've gone through so much confusion and just being unsure of, what's happening and what's happening to us personally and what's happening to us as a community, that I think this needed to happen. This needed to finally just open up, and everyone just needed to be like, okay, this is the end. This is done. We're not dealing with this again. It's game over.
So my name is Ari Kane. I'm in the class 2020. And I think it's important to talk about the culture and precedent we set in school. I personally am a victim of sexual harassment in school that did not have to do with Legis because, there are other cases of sexual harassment in the school. What happened to me happened a long time ago, and I thought I had put it all behind me. But when all the stuff started coming out with Legis, it stirred up all the pain that I put down inside and made it come back. And I haven't been able to go to a full day of class for now the past 3 days. This counts as not going to class for different reasons. I haven't been able to stay in class in school for the whole day because all this pain that I feel, all the unsafeness I feel, because when I got sexually harassed, I didn't know it was wrong. Because the school, this is a middle school, didn't have proper education about what sexual harassment was because they didn't believe it was a problem. The way this... And the way the school treats sexual harassment now, it affects every victim of sexual harassment in Sharon High, whether it's because of Legis or otherwise. Because we are all watching, and when the school does nothing, we feel like they're doing nothing for us as well. understand that what they're doing sends a message to every single victim of sexual harassment, no matter how long ago it was, where it was, or who it was. Thank you.
All right, I have a letter that I addressed to the administration, but before I start with that, I would just like to say that while if you're like me, you haven't specifically been a victim of sexual harassment, but I'm sure that you have many friends who have been. I have friends who not only had to take class with Blankus, but are up here alongside me and were victimized by him. My sister had to sit through his class for, I think it was 2 years. Stuff's ridiculous, and by the way, the school earlier today was trying to silence us about this. You see a bunch of us reading off. Laptops because we printed out our stuff and the school took what we printed. They unplugged the printers. It seems to me like the school has a problem with the First Amendment. All right. All right. Dear administration, this issue is not conservative, it's not liberal, it's just ignorant. You've let this carry on for 20 years, and now you think a half-baked 30-minute assembly makes up for all that. You've allowed a monster to skate free for 20 years, and that inexplicably ineffective and ignorant lack of representation is a clear picture that you have no intention of holding that monster accountable for the countless crimes it, and I emphasize it, has committed. In ice hockey, there's a principle that when you're down 1 or 2 or 3 goals, you pull your goalie. If you don't, that means it's time to give up. Let the clock run out and leave. First, you hired a monster. Second goal you allowed, you spent 20 years allowing that monster to do whatever it wanted. Trying to sweep it under the rug. The third, you tried to cover it up and not even mention it when someone finally stood up to that monster and put them finally out of work. You have had every chance to pull your goalie and at least say something well thought out, or try to help the affected students, but you kept your goalie in the game and let a 4th goal through by trying to make it all better with a presentation that looked and felt like it was cobbled together 5 minutes before the students even arrived. You've left the goalie in the game, and the clock is all yours. It's time to leave.
So guys, earlier today before school started, we all gathered in the auditorium foyer and we were putting up posters. And right before school started, our assistant principal was Gavin, took everything down. And we want to ask Ms. Gavin, how do you feel about this and why did you take it down? Why did you let us voice our opinions and what we wanted to say?
Thank you, Loretta. Thank you for the chance to talk. So it's tough to be in this job, absolutely. Mr. Palmer, Ms. Gravel, and I, number one, I know what you're going to say, but number one is safety. So if it's a fire hazard or there's misinformation or what I said to several of you, get them approved. I said I would come in hours and hours and help put them all back up. Those were my words to several of you. But you've got to go through the process. It's got to be legit. It's got to be. Well, I haven't had the answer that.
All right, we want to thank Ms. Gavin for attending. However, we still have
have questions that need to be addressed. I think that has been established based on everything that's been said. So we do want to open up the opportunity for forums for students to talk and to ask questions and to get answers. So I think we can talk and ask a few questions right now, but we also just want to make it clear that we want to keep this going and we want to set up future dates at which point we can ask more questions and get more answers. Thank you.
So right now we'll take 5 questions if you guys.
So I have a teacher, most of you probably know her. Should I say her name? Oh yeah, I'm Greg, I'm a senior. Alright, so this teacher throughout the year has been really going after this issue. Probably one of the only teachers I've seen really trying to make a difference in that. So my question to administration is, I was told by this teacher that she was discussing it with a student and she was later told by administration that she wasn't allowed to do this. So I want to know why administration would tell a teacher that their students can't really confide in her as someone they see as helpful. So I want to know why she wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Ms. Dowd, you will answer.
What time? Thank you, Doug. I don't have answers to all these questions, Greg. So remember back to what Dr. Beer said. If it's an ongoing investigation, we can't legally have people discussing it. We would never tell the teachers you can't have a student confront. I'm not going to talk over you guys. If you want to have a conversation, it's listening. We would never tell a teacher that they can't have a student confide in them. Absolutely not. That's what students need more than anything.
So administration took the posters down, which is obvious, and they're saying that we should have asked administration beforehand to get the posters approved. But why would we have asked for approval of those posters if nothing has been heard that we've been trying to say? I was in 2 classes where I tried to make posters to be heard, and both times I was told to put markers down when we had no other assignments to do. So administration is telling us that our voices should be heard and we shouldn't be silenced, but yet everything we're doing today is being silenced. We're putting this auditorium, I get it, we're putting an auditorium to ask questions, it's great, I appreciate that, but we were literally blocked by administration, shut doors, you have a response to that?
Again, it was about safety. At no point were you blocked. You could have free to go.
It's not true.
We weren't keeping anybody in. We absolutely were not. I think a big thank you to Mr. Fazio. This is a great idea to have these voices heard and listened to in a safe place. This is the perfect thing. So thank you, Mr. Fazio.
okay? And I said to them, if you want to be heard, let's talk about it. Stay in the school so that we can have this discussion. If you wanted to march out, by all means, that's your right. But you're not going to be heard by all of us if you're outside. If you're in here and we can have these discussions, that's more powerful to me. I feel they can call anybody and say, this might be a better option. So I just wanted to address that.
I want to say that you guys did block us. You guys closed the door. You guys scanned from the hallways. Teacher in this building, you guys silenced us. We couldn't say anything. We couldn't do anything. It was hard for us to stand up there and say something because you guys were all surrounding us and making us stay in this one space, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be heard. And yes, we have this conversation right here, right now, but we need more than that. People that have been harassed more than that.
I just have one question. Where is Dr. Levino? She just said that people were trying to leave, right? So where is the man that's supposed to be here listening to us? If you were to leave and not be heard,
Hi everybody, I'm Emma from class of 2022. I just want to know how we're supposed to make a change if we're being blocked, if we're being told no, if we are being told that we can't walk out and we can't make our voice be heard. How are we supposed to make a change if we're being told no? I want everybody to take a second and look at all the people in this room. Just look around. You are all here trying to make a change. I commend you all for doing that. First, she's a freshman. Converse about, specificities in terms of the criminal case, but being told that we couldn't talk to our teacher was before the investigation began. Beyond that, we've been trying to have this conversation since before I was in Sharon High School, since before any one of these students was here. This conversation has been had, and everyone has been told, don't talk about it. So, with all due respect, this has nothing to do with an investigation. This is simply about the fact that I am uncomfortable in my school. I am uncomfortable in class. That do care and that do listen, but that's so few.
safety, perhaps that's why we did not close the front doors. Because that seems like a very unsafe thing to do. If there happens to be a fire, then you all try to run out the front door. And the concern is that we're all grouped together, and that's a crime for this hazard. We wouldn't have to be grouped together if you had done something about it 10 years ago.
And I'm asking this with full respect and not in a condescending manner at all. I'm genuinely wondering if these letters and these posters are a fire hazard and they need to be approved first. Why is it that I, in my 4 years here, have been able to hang up multiple posters, whether it be for a club or a fundraiser?
About 9 years ago, and when I was late around 8th grade and she was telling me to make choices, she said, do not get this teacher, he's harassed my friends, he makes people uncomfortable. She was in 8th grade 10 years ago and heard about this, so I just want to know why it took so long, and I don't want it to be a confidential reason or for due process.
Okay, so we're gonna answer a couple more questions. If it is in fact a question, can you please use a vocal inflection that makes it clear?
Alright, Miss Alberico would like to speak, so we're going
There are teachers here that care. I love all of you. What I want you to stop doing, please, stop going after Miss Gavin. She wasn't here 10 years ago. She wasn't here when I reported it the first time. It's not her fault. But you can't. I'm here for all of you. You can come to me anytime. Sexually harassing her on her phone. Today, that needs to be reported. You can come to me. I will report it. I will tell anyone. The teacher at the middle school who sent a message to a senior student of mine that showed it to me today, a female student today, and he's sexually harassing her in that text message. He's at your middle school. We need to be educated. We need more education as say something. Even if it's a little thing. Even if it's a push. Or something touching inappropriately. Report it. You got Dr. Hawk over there. I go to him for everything.
as kids speak up and create a better world. And Mr. Fazio gave us the opportunity to speak in this auditorium, and I think that was really nice of him to give us the chance to voice our opinions. And I think that he is a very good man and wants to change for our school and for the students. What do you want, sugar?
Honestly, can I say this real quick and have some advice?
Yes.
You all keep saying thank you to everyone for giving us this opportunity to speak. And that's where you're wrong, because we took it because it's ours, alright? Like, we didn't need to ask Mr. Fazio to give us this place to speak because we had a right to speak in our own school.
We want to make it clear, while yes, we are extremely upset with the conduct of this school and the conduct of administration in regards to this situation, we do want to make it clear that we are grateful for this ability to be here. While it is something that we took by ourselves, we are happy that we can be here at all, and that's what we need. We also want to make it clear to Ms. Gavin that we do not blame her for things that have happened 10 years ago when she was clearly not here. However, we still want some kind of consolation for the actions that have been taking place on the part of administration today in response to our protest. So we would just like to continue this conversation. We are going to be setting up dates on which we can have further forums and discussions on this issue. And we would just like to make it clear as well. Oh, how many more time?
Well, I heard that there was one last question that someone wanted to ask that was... Okay. So yeah, this is the last question that we're going to take.
Okay, thank you. I'm Olivia, I'm a freshman, and just to preface this question, this isn't intended to disrespect anyone. It's a genuine question for all of administration, and I want to know why a formal apology wasn't issued to address the grievances that have been ongoing. And I'm going to respectfully request that someone in administration at least say something to answer, because the last few questions haven't been answered. With all due respect.
All right, listen, I know it's a huge hot topic here going on. I commend you guys for doing it in a peaceful way, okay? You guys know I'm not administration. You guys know that, okay? But if you ask me questions, I'll tell you what I know. Criminal stuff, you guys know it's a touchy subject with me, especially with an ongoing investigation. But I can't answer some of your questions. If any of you guys want to come to me, I'll answer those questions for you, okay? My deal now is as we go forward, I know there's a ton of questions that haven't been answered. I know you guys are frustrated. I know you guys are hot. I get it, okay? I get it. But when we dismiss from this auditorium, whenever that is, do me a favor. Be respectful to the school, okay? Be respectful to the other kids in classes that are in classes that aren't here. Do not destroy stuff. Go along your business, and we'll be okay, okay? Just do it in a respectful way. You guys have been very respectful right now, and I commend you for that. Okay, I absolutely commend you for that. So if you have any questions going forward with me, certainly ask. There are people in this building that you know, you can trust. You know those teachers, okay? You know who they are, all right? That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening to me, all right?
So if you have something you want to say, please look at Annabelle's prompt on Facebook and please share it with me or Rachel on Google Docs. If you have trouble finding the prompt or our Google Docs, don't hesitate to contact me or Rachel. We're both on Facebook. My name is Olivia Carson. My school account is ocarson2020 at SharonSchools.net. I don't know if you guys can remember that.
Also, when you're writing a letter, once again, Annabelle set up certain guidelines on Facebook. Please make sure that you respect those. We really want to hear what you have to say. Everyone wants to hear what you have to say. And then also, a lot of us were debating whether to write our names on our letters last night, and we decided that these are our words and we wanted to claim them. So whether or not you decide to write your name on your letter, we still want your letter. We want to hear what you have to say. So yeah, also, R. Walkman, WACHMAN at SharonSchools.net.
So I understand that a lot of questions were asked and we didn't get all the answers we wanted, but that's why we're going to continue having this discussion and we'll continue having these forums where we can all ask questions and hopefully there'll be more administrative members here who can take these questions and answer them.
Alright, thank you. That's a question I'm asking too. However, since I don't have like a tracker on his ankle or something, I don't know any way you do. We are going to try to wrap this up so people can begin to go to lunch. I know that there are many more questions that need to be answered, and I know that this is a very abrupt way to end this. Okay, I think that the comments right now, if we have one comment, we're going to have hundreds because this is something that everyone wants to talk about and everyone should be talking about. I don't want anyone leaving right now, however. Do not leave yet if you're whatever. Okay. We just want to make it clear that your questions will be heard and will be answered, hopefully. If not by administration, then we will just continue to be asking them. I don't know what you want to hear. So we just want to say thank you for being here and thank you for supporting us. This was not a planned event in any sense of the word. And we want to thank you for being a respectful audience and asking your questions. And we have questions too, so just remember that and remember that if administration isn't necessarily going to answer, whether because they can't, because it's criminal case or whatever, I don't know, I don't take of, or whether they don't want to, we will continue to ask the questions and we will hear your questions and we will continue to meet people. I'm going to pass this off to Annabelle. She's going to say a few words and then we're going to have Mr. Fazio say a couple words. Probably more than a couple. It needs to be a full sentence, at least. Thank you very much.
So I'm just going to echo what Ben said again. So thank you so much. While I may have been the one to send out that post last night, it could have been any single one of you. All of you have so much power, and I don't think any of us would be here without the support of each other, so thank you so much. And this is the beginning of something big. This isn't going to end here, and we're going to schedule more meetings like this so we can continue to share our thoughts and continue to make progress for our school. So thank you.
And can we get a giant round of applause for Annabelle for organizing all this?
moment. You're used to having the teaching coming from teachers to you. You've reversed it. You've got to Dr. Greer has said that if we can coordinate with her schedule. She's happy to sit down and continue this dialogue. We will continue this dialogue and put things in place. You've been heard. You have done what the democratic process is supposed to be about. You didn't get the answers you wanted. People didn't give you. You took it. You should give yourselves a hand for doing the right thing. One last thing. The people that put the posters up and put their names to them, that took guts. We're better than what's happened. We're better than what's happened here. You've made the first step in helping us as a community turn things around. Thank you.
All right. Hi. As a senior, I just wanted to make one closing statement, and for everyone. I don't want to leave this school without making a change. I don't. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Go to class.
Bye. Hey, just kidding.